Hey, storytellers, it's Storytelling Ron. I want to go over, this is for Apostles of the Apocalypse, Apostles of the APOC, or you can even use it kind of in Christians in Space. Because think about this, when you're in Christians in Space, you're probably going to go to some planets that are apocalyptic, that are run down, toxic, or whatever. So you could literally have an apocalyptic type of world in the Christians in Space setting, but also in the timeline of For the Little RPG, there's an apocalyptic setting on Earth around 2100 AD or 2200 AD. So this is, I just want to go through this. I've probably gone this before, but I just love doing this, but I'm going to do it again. So this is on page 32-ish. I'm still kind of working it out. I'm going to do a Kickstarter with this soon as a print run. So this is available on the website in the membership area. The membership area is $40 for the year. And you get this, you're going to get Christians in Space, which I'm almost done with. I'm just formatting it, cleaning it up. I'm putting together the printable assets of all this stuff that you're going to be seeing here, and the VTT assets. So every artwork in here, all of my artwork is for tokens and maps and stuff. I don't draw just for scenery or just for the look of it. I draw all my doodles are to actually use in the game. And I really personally like using doodles and map pieces and all that. So, and that again is all available in the $40 a year annual membership, which, and you get all that and you can download it and keep it and do whatever you want with it, for the $40. You get Dark Ages and you get more stuff in there. I'm adding more like adventure stuff. So let me just go through it. Instructions, basic instructions on how to do it all, and which is I'm just going to kind of go through. Here's what the replenish, refuel, and repair. This is a fun little GM thing where you can roll whenever you feel like it, the beginning of a session or the beginning of when they start a new sort of adventure, and they can sort of counter it. Yeah, the apropos trait is used to counter the supply issue. So if they fail, then one of their basic supplies gets you reduce it by this much, meaning that their day-to-day routine, they lost some of their supplies. Now they may have enough that this doesn't matter, but it's sort of to lower it down that it might be disconcerting to them that they have to, part of their mission then is to go to refill their medicine or their high tech or their rations, or their scrap and their fuel. They get normal day-to-day fuel, normal day-to-day rations. So that's sort of part of the game. But this is like on top of that, like that affects their actual game, so that, when they have to actually replenish this part. So in the game, you do get a sense of, like for fuel, they always know how to get fuel. But at this point, let's say they do really bad and the fuel goes down really low. So at this point, yeah, they're in a situation where they really have to go find some fuel to replenish their supply. Above and beyond the mundane, day-to-day refuel kind of thing, storyline. Thusly, this replenish, refuel, repair roll is just arbitrary whenever the GM remembers to do it or feels like doing it. Okay, so that's just a fun little game aspect. So you and the players don't always have to constantly, every time you play, deduct this much fuel, deduct this many rations. Don't play it like that. Assume those are replaced with the mundane activities that they do, that you don't have to describe. This is, the extraordinary circumstances. Okay, so for making a hex, the game literally, you start off, the Christian missionaries start off in a post-apocalyptic bunker in this hex. There's a mountain hex. There's 2 mountain hexes. You can use either one. And then literally you could like print this out and cut it out. And each time that they get a new hex, they scotch tape it to that one. So you're building up this hex map on the table, or virtual in VTT. You can, add these hexes along. So they're literally creating a map of hexes as they go exploring. And then they could like get to the border of one, look at that hex, do some binoculars, and then decide to go a different direction. But you could still put that hex down and tape it to their hex map so they know what it is. So how do you make the hex maps? I'm gonna do this again because I really enjoy rolling these dice. I'm gonna roll here. Start off with, let's just say they're gonna go north. So I'm gonna roll for north. 2 flatlands arid. So when they get there, it's gonna be flatlands arid. Let's go to the flatlands arid area. Okay, here. And then now I usually roll this beforehand. I usually know what all 6 hexes are beforehand and prep those so that I kind of know what, whichever direction I go, this is what they're going to see. Flatlands and 2 again. So insectoids or avians, that's what they're going to be encountering. Okay. Then I go to extra features. I do this. This is optional, but I do it anyway for the fun of it. 6. Location has extra resources. Okay. That's the main thing they're going to be doing. Let's go down now. Let's just go down. I'm going to come back to this. I just want to go to the search and salvage. So this is the treasure that you determine for a layer or hex or whatever. And this is really what they're doing. 2 things they're doing. 1, going out and trying to find more, scavenging in the wastelands. And of course, the other one is planting churches, converting the locals and planting churches. So, and obviously if you roll this one, which we'll get to, I'll either double or roll twice for extra stuff. Now you can even have more than just one, roll. You can have different areas that might have search and salvage type of stuff. Especially if you make a dungeon map or something that has a bunker or whatever, you can add a few more things in there that they'll find as supplies or tech gear or upgradable stuff. Okay, so let's just move on to, so we have insectoids and avians. I'm going to roll the aggression table for the beast or whatever, 10. Sees, watches, calls for help, follows at a distance until reinforcements arrive if needed, waiting for right moment to sabotage or attack. So you're going to have, arid avian, arid flatlands, insectoid. So it's pretty obvious, ants, giant insectoids that really have a organized way of doing things. They could be like vultures, like mutant giant vultures that follow them, and when there's enough of them, they attack, kind of build up. So there's that. So that's kind of a cool tension thing. All right. This is for when you move on to the giant ruins. That's it. There's nothing now as far as here I can determine the actual creature. Roll a d6. 2, swarm of. So that what I just said. It could be either or both, if I feel like it. And then let's do. And then this is if you don't, this is just a guide. So I'm going to go ahead and go with melee and see what kind of attack. I'm rolling a 2 again. Pincers plus grapple sounds like ants to me. Some sort of Terminator. I'm sorry. That was it. I didn't need to go on, because that'll be more if I rolled high. If I rolled a 6, they would have gotten more. But I could add more if I feel like it, right? If I feel like I just want to add more. But I think, especially for beginners, what I just did there is enough. And what's funny is I do have something like that already made. And this is just to add more. Type of beast. Well, I already got the insectoid thing. Because some of these will just say beast, and then you can kind of, create it from there. So there is no other place than that. But let me go down to what I already created. This is if you I'm sorry, not that. This right here, not the beast, sorry. This right here, conversion possibility, and this is for more stuff. Conversion possibility is if you create mutant raiders or tribal, on the selection or on the rolls for the hexes. The church thing is for rules for when you succeed at something and plan a church, you then want to build up each hex to have a church. And then these are the rules for creating security for the church by giving them stuff. If you give them stuff, so if you on the salvage, if you get a whole bunch of this and you deliver it to the church, and if they're nearby, it's just role playing, then that will give them a better role, and that'll give them better health and a better role for any random encounters like attacks or bad things happening to them or growth things happening to them. And if they become a 12 plus in their health, kind of like hit points, then they can start supplying you with good stuff, or you could literally go back to that hex and get replenished, resupplied, repairs done, healing done, whatever. So they'll be strong enough to help you as you progress to the next hexes. So that's that little bit there. This couple of pages here is to help you with villains, like if witches and sorcerers or shamans, witch doctors. This will give you like what kind of an oppressor you want, what kind of a pagan, whoever rules the tribe or rules the people, usually in consortium with a beast or a terrible mutant beast or creature that they use as a god, that kind of thing. And this is just gives you ideas on how to create the different types of oppressive, leaders. This is to help you create beasts. Here's, the generic weaker beasts, and then they go stronger and stronger up to cyborg. Oops, I don't mean to change the table there. This category is empire or the cyborgs, mutants or robotic. So this is their stats, generally speaking, and then the different kinds describing them. And this is, so you can give them special abilities if you want: pounce, pack attack, lair, camouflage, etc. So here's an example of me creating these hexes with the different descriptions. So up here in these mutant ruins, D6 threat level. And these are all based off, I rolled these off the chart here. A dark hero may rescue them. So I got to make a dark hero, some, loner, sort of Mandalorian kind of character. Let's do road warrior. Oil well and refinery. Slaves and marauders is probably what I rolled. Marauder, scout on big seas, then goes to get raiding party. So this one, if they see you, they won't attack you immediately. They'll leave. And if you let them get away, then they'll come back with a raiding party. All right. So this one here, north of them is another mountain hex. Dangerous terrain test. So there's going to be some sort of dangerous terrain they got to get through to pass through this. And there's a chasm full of dead beasts and fallen vehicle. Giant bloodworm critters feast on dead. So in that chasm, if they crash and go down it, and they got to figure out a way to get around it, then there's going to be some scary beasts and creatures down there. So that's based off the rolls. Ratwoods. This one here was a forest one. Vicious giant rat packs. Slaves put in cages as sacrifice to rat packs by wood forest tribe. Tribe keeps distance but allows approach cautiously, curiously. So there's a storyline there. There's a potential to plant a church if you can convert these people, but you got to get them to stop sacrificing to the giant rats. Got to deal with the giant rats. See? So that's, this one is the one I've role played. This one, Terminal Waste. Termite towers, docile but defensive. Tunnels lead down to rare high-tech med lab plus D4. Vicious avian vultures fly overhead predator packs. So this is kind of with the role I just did. And it's a kind of a repeat. And I don't see a problem with this being a repeat in the world, because you're going to have those kind of worlds. And down below in their tunnels is a high-tech med lab, so they can find that. If they can get that med lab out, or at least get some of the supplies out of it, they're going to get lots of medical stuff. So down south is Forest of Fear. Wolf packs roam here. Suffering tribes in need of food and medicine keep distance but allows approach. So this is wolf packs, and I would make those wolves mutant wolves. But another potential for our tribe to convert it. They're in need of food and medicine, but they keep their distance, but allow approach. So. Okay, and then this one lost bunker. A bunker is there with high-tech debris, enough material to make 2 rockets at TR, and takes a trial rating of 18 tech to make those rockets. So there'll be rockets in this bunker. Add enough steel to add D4 hull armor with TR4 tech. Oh, that's for the oh wow, that's enough for your vehicle. And then if that's the case too, I would probably make the handling a little harder, to drive, so the handling would go up a little bit. Giant horned toads reside in it and defend bunker. Blood shooting acidic eyes. Old manual to build rockets plus D4. See, so those are the generic things that are around their home X that they can now go in the wastelands and explore. And then I did some further out, because they went to this one, and then I made the 3 more further out here. So, and if they don't go to one, you can obviously just move that to wherever else they're going to go as that hex. So this one is right here. Cutthroat Grove. Hidden settlement of cultists who worship and live in fear of speed demons. These guys. Savable, nomadic, opportunists, honor and raiders, low-tech weapons, one-shot guns, hunts, determined to take ambush and slave if able, kill and feed to their pigs. Dark hero could rescue. I rolled that in there too. Hidden, it's probably the same dark hero that's over here, who hates these speed demons. And there's some nomads. Hidden settlement of cultists, and then the speed demons. So there's 2 different tribes there. ones that are hiding, and then ones that are, and who knows, maybe those hidden settlement ones could be part of the Dark Hero story, So these are things that, so all the roles that you do here are supposed to give you ideas on what sort of fun, adventurous thing is going to be going on here. This one, Thunder Roam. Oh, this is more about the speed demons. Road warrior mutants, they enslave the Extians, run an oil refinery for their fuel. The Extians, I say Christians, I don't know, have hidden the cross and a few pages hidden away. So these Extians think they're sort of like, they've heard of Christianity somehow, but they're like a long lost tribe of Christians from another bunker, and they only have a few pages of the Bible and the cross, so they don't even know that much. So they're going to be open to being converted pretty easily. Their forefathers had the book they submit to the speed demons, but they still submit to the speed demons and give them gasoline or whatever oil. Okay, so down here in the forest one. So anyway, about this one up here, that's pretty interesting. Whatever. There's gonna be good role playing there. In this forest one here, which is outside of this one here, Ratwoods. So this one is this one. I think what I did is I moved this one over there because that's the way they headed. I think that's what I did here. Group of spires barely hang on, making offerings to the rats, and I built this out a little more. A witch controls them and alerts nearby raiders to abduct any that go out too far from the village. She has a secret radio. She's evil. So I role played this one out, and I should probably upload. I haven't uploaded these ones to my YouTube because they're with actors, and I did a show. But I probably will though soon. I just got to get organized here. But yeah, this was a fun one where they discovered that she was in control of this tribe and sacrificing to the rats. But she was also, if any of the tribes started to go out too far or disobey her, she would send a secret radio message to the speed demons who would come and abduct them. And the Christian missionaries intercepted her radio call and realized what she was doing, and then that was a cool episode. Dungeon and Dinosaur. This one down here, another wasteland or arid land. Giant dino claw beast hunts them. Bunker facility under causes oasis. So it's like oasis. Dino roams and ambushes any creatures that go there. Rare tech blueprint, digipad password clue. Who bred a variety of sheep? Answer, Jacob, Genesis 1:30. Long gone Christian scientist engineer from another prison camp. Worked on regenerative healing salve. TR22, D8 medicine, D4. So this is like them getting like a healing potion, how to make a healing potion. One roll to gain ability to make one D4 wound salve using D4 medical. So whatever. This is a way for them to, way for you to get them a really cool, basically a healing potion, how to make healing potions. It takes D8 medicine to make with D4 high-tech parts. One roll to gain ability to make, that's the study of it, to make D4 wound salves. So potentially make 1 to 4 of them using D4 medical. So every time they can do this now using D4 medical, they can then make D4 of these wound salves. Pretty cool, huh? Okay. So these are me building out those hexes. These hexes here are me building them out using the assets that I make available for you as VTT digital assets or as a PDF you can download and print out and put on your table. Now, obviously, I went a little extravagant here. You don't have to. And you don't even have to, you can just use whatever you want on your table. You can use your own props and your own miniatures. I'm just enjoying doing this mainly for the VTT, the Foundry. I use Foundry VTT. But I'm, making it for so you can use it on a table if you want. You can draw out your own forest. I mean, these are just doodles, so they're simple enough. But let's zoom in a little bit here. And I'm just gonna use the hand. So as you can see, this one is this is the arid wasteland, and as you can see, the termites live. It's pretty low res here, but these are my hidden. If you're on a table, when they go here and search around, they'll find a hole. And you can drop down each of these pieces as a reveal when they start searching in here. And this is a bunker. Actually, they started here at the bunker, and then termites might come out and attack them. But they found in here, some termites, and then they found on each of these little weird rocks that I put a human being encrusted in there to be fed to their larvae. So that was cool. They knew they had to rescue now all these people in the different tunnels. From the neighboring hex where the forest village is. So I created this whole link of, these people came here to sacrifice themselves to, and now we we don't want to do this anymore. We don't like, that's how I play the pagans in this world. We believe in sacrificing, but not me, and so the players bring them the gospel, and they went around having fun, blasting and attacking the termites. And there were these vultures, these sort of, it's kind of hard to see here, but the vultures there were hovering around, and I made them attack them once in a while. So that was a fun little episode. And then this one here is, as you can see, the tribe is hidden in a corner here. Although I use a different map for this, but similar thing. I made it more extravagant than this. There's a tribe hidden with these little bunkers, a little watchtower, a little cage here to sacrifice. Here's the road that you can drive along. There's a barricade of rocks. And down here, it's kind of hard to see, but this is the giant rat and little rats in this toxic dump here, an old ancient toxic dump. So that's what that is, and they're sacrificing. And there's a couple of other, there's another ruin over here they could find, which has, you can search around and find some salvage. And here's the rats, and here's some, mutant wolves, Dinozard. If you can, I'm going to add that as one of the beasts they can encounter. And check this one out. This one is the one with the, in the middle of the wasteland, there's an oasis because of this exhaust thing here. And there's a bit of moisture around it. And of course, there's a dino beast and some man-eating plants hit in there. And this is like a dungeon. They can go down now and find this tunnel. And then there's some high tech over here, which has the whatever high tech I had there, the medicine thing that they can find. And I should probably put some more beasts in there, or creatures or something creepy in there. But yeah, that's the way you build up each of these hexes, and then they can have encounters and they can find stuff. And the goal here is to get, salvage, to build up their churches, and then to get upgrades of weapons and move on to the next adventure. So yeah, that's the Apostles of the Apocalypse. That's how the hex map and campaign is. Oh, and then at the very bottom here is the Empire Building Guide. So this here helps you build out the empire that they'll be encountering, which will be, I don't have the hexes in here yet, but I've drawn them out where eventually they will encounter ruins of a mega sprawl, of a big city. Eventually they'll encounter that in these roles. Here, ruins. So you can have regular ruins, but if you roll a 6 and then another 6, they could start encountering the Empire ruins, and those ruins are going to sort of when the end, climactic end story, if you want, or just a bigger, scarier place to go. And when that happens, when that's triggered, and another way it can be triggered is if when you're church planting, there's a rare role in there that the Empire will discover the churches and start, threatening and attacking the churches, and thusly the characters have to then start the Empire trigger, which is this is like a beginning concept of what they look like, the different areas they could be in, what they'll encounter, what level of cultural structure, and it'll get harder and harder. The map, I haven't made any maps of any yet, but I'll try to do that soon. Okay, so that's my just giving you an understanding of like sort of what I've built up for the Apostles of the Apocalypse campaign, how you create adventures, how you create it so that it builds up, to a campaign. I hope that was helpful. This is for Christians playing as missionaries, and my goal here is to show you that we Christians need to bring Christianity, our faith, into the game, into role-playing games, because we've taken out our faith, and the pagans have taken over fantasy, they've taken over sci-fi, they've taken over everything, and they're getting away with Christianity because we don't need it. But that's wrong, because Christianity has always been a part of the struggle in fantasy. Fantasy is created by the struggle between Christianity and paganism. That's where fantasy comes from. And we have willingly removed Christianity, and now paganism is taken over and has taken over the storytelling, the morals, chivalry, romance. Those are all Christian things. The force for good in pagan and RPGs is now, paganism is taking credit for that, and we need to stop supporting that and support Christian games like this, where, and my goal is to show you that we can create games that are exactly the way OS role-playing games are, or fantasy, or genres like apocalyptic or sci-fi, exactly like that, because that's obviously what we believe in, these kind of the storytelling that we believe in, but with a Christian evangelism and gospel in there that really matters to the story, really matters to the people in the story, really matters to changing the ways of the people in the story, and really matters to us playing with our family, playing with our kids, playing with others, to show that Christianity is everywhere. The left thinks that they can put politics into NBA, NFL, schools, first graders. They can bring in their politics. What the heck, Christians? We can bring our faith into it as well. And same with the RPG culture. Anyway, so that's my rant at the end of this little apocalyptic thing. All right. Hope you enjoyed this, or I enjoy it. Anyway, remember, in the game of life, roll holy dice.